opinions expressed on the Jay Thomas Show are the opinions of the host, participating callers, and/or listener emails, texts, and/or letters, and are not necessarily the opinions of WDAY or Forum Communications. WDAY 970 AM and 93.1 FM invites you to make your opinion known. We pride ourselves on exploring all viewpoints on any topic.
Do you know who I am? I don't know how to put this, but it's kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah, we
People
gotta get
know
back.
me.
We gotta get back to work here. Jay Thomas Show. Welcome back. Here we go. Hope you all had a good weekend. I can't believe this coming weekend is Memorial Weekend already. Of course, if you want to go camping in Minnesota, well, screw you. Unless you want to strap on a backpack and bury your own, well, you know. Oh, some of these rules. And not some, a lot of them. Man, they just make, you shake your head and go, who is coming up with this stuff, Rob Port? How you doing, pal?
What rule are you talking about?
Well, in Minnesota, starting today, you're going to love this, Port.
Oh, God.
Okay, so remember now, the Mall of America was allowed to open up, 500 and some stores in that place, okay?
Right, huge.
That's allowed to open up. Your Walmarts of the world, those never closed during this whole thing. Hundreds of people in those. In Minnesota, here it is.
You're a little premature on the Memorial Day thing. Here's a couple weeks out.
No, it's this coming weekend.
It's this weekend?
It's this coming weekend, yes.
It's early?
I
Really early this year.
I also had that revelation earlier today.
I was like, really? Because I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's only the 18th.
I know. Well, this weekend, Alex and I, she goes, don't forget, honey, next weekend we do all the flowers and the planters. I'm like, no. That's a Memorial Day ritual for us. She goes, yeah.
We thought we had an extra
this weekend.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm like,
Memorial Day weekend.
It's coming this weekend already? Yeah, it's really early this year.
I took the rest of the week off because that's how I discovered it. Is I actually, like, after today, I took the rest of the week off.
Yeah.
And I was looking ahead and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I guess I'm not coming back till Tuesday.
Yeah, it's early this year. So today, dispersed camping opened up in Minnesota State Forests. So like the Boundary Waters Canoe area, Voyageurs National Park, those areas you can sleep under the stars. Now, in other words, you cannot be within a mile. You have to be a mile away or farther from any developed campground.
What?
Okay? Yeah. And
I don't understand why we canceled. Isn't camping social distancing? I mean, isn't that the whole point?
Wait, it gets even better. So let's say you're looking for a RV. You want to go out Memorial Weekend and take the RV out. You're out of luck. The new executive orders keep state park campgrounds and private campgrounds closed until June 1st at the earliest, if even then.
I don't get it.
Somebody bringing their RV onto a site, which would have their own bathroom, their own hookups. Essentially, It's a cabin on wheels. They are not allowed to do that. But yet you can walk into a Walmart in Minnesota or the Mall of America.
I mean, you got your camper, so it's not even necessarily like you're tenting and you're using like the community shower. Like the campground we go to Cross Ranch a lot.
Okay.
And we tent. And they have they have a little shower facility there for men and women, where they got a few stalls. You go in there and it's kind of like a gym locker room, right? But for camp, you don't even have that. And again, camping is social distancing. I don't understand what we're doing.
Now imagine these resorts, these people that own campgrounds. Memorial Weekend is huge. A big chunk of their money for the season comes Memorial, 4th of July,
Labor Day.
Right. They've just lost about a third, if not more, of their yearly income. But yet, you can walk into a Walmart in Minnesota, you can walk into a Target, and you can walk into the Mall of America. So these rules
does not make sense.
Dumb. Well,
I was on because I was actually thinking about going camping this weekend. Myself.
Now, what's North Dakota? It's lightened up. It's a little bit easier than I think in Minnesota.
As far as I know, it's open.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know about I didn't look at the cabins because some of the campgrounds they have like cabins you can rent. I didn't look at those.
I think you're right. I think the campgrounds, the bathrooms won't be opened. if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there listening knows.
I better look.
You might want to check.
Yeah, I might want to check that part out. But I will tell you, campground's looking pretty booked up, man. I mean, there were a few spots open still, but mostly reserved. I mean, and about what you would expect, going into Memorial Day weekend. I mean, it looks kind of like business as usual as far as the campgrounds that I looked at.
Now, you listeners, asking you this question: what are some of the most ridiculous rules you've either experienced, you've seen on the news, you've read about when it comes to the coronavirus? 293-9000, because these are just getting out of control. You got businesses after businesses, too, in Minnesota, bars, restaurants, salons, gyms saying, you know what, to hell with Governor Walz. I can't wait any longer. I'm opening up. Now, there's a gentleman, Chris, I can't think of his last name. He had a string of 6 bars/restaurants he was going to open up today. He was ready to go, and he's not going to do it now because his lawyers told him, don't do it.
A.G. Ellison filed a lawsuit.
Yeah. Yep. And this guy backed down and said, well, because his lawyers told him, don't do it. But I know of a couple businesses here in the region on the Minnesota side that should not be open that have opened up. They said, you know what, we're going to take our chance. Oh, and the guy that was going to open his six places in Minnesota, what the hell was that place called?
So was it Shady's?
Shady's, that's it.
Yeah.
They on GoFundMe, people had already raised $169,000 yesterday for him to be able to pay the fines at his establishments. if the Attorney General went, because it was up to $25,000 a day per business.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea now that we've come through such a unique situation, and I think we're going to see it here in North Dakota, although I don't know if it's going to be in the courts or maybe in the legislature. I think maybe it's not a bad idea now that we're through this. I think we can all agree our governors and other leaders had to take some action, right? They had to do some things. They needed some authority to do some things. I think we probably need a new debate about how far that goes. What are the checks and balances? What are the review? What's the role of maybe the other branches of government in some of this? Because there are some things that happen in North Dakota and Minnesota, across the nation, that I think with 2020 hindsight, and again, not even necessarily pointing the finger at everybody. I mean, again, our leaders, all the usual caveats apply. You leaders had to make these decisions in real time. I think a debate about how far their power should go in these situations would be a healthy one, starting soon.
Do you think our lawmakers in the state of North Dakota hurt themselves by not getting more involved in this?
Yeah. Did you see McFeely agreeing with me?
I did. Yeah. He had to choke that one down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Welcome to the dark side, Mike.
That's right.
No,
Mike.
I'm sorry. I can't help poking a stick at him a little bit. I've been calling on it for over a month.
I know.
Absolutely, they should have met. As a matter of fact, a lot of the things that we're talking about, did governors go too far or whatever? That's what the checks and balances of the different branch of government are supposed to address, right? So that the governor can't. Yeah. Now the governor does have, we do give them executive emergency powers, but how long does an emergency last? How long until, if the governor has to make a decision like within 24 hours, okay, well, we're probably not going to be able to convene the legislature within 24 hours, so the governor needs some authority to be able to act. But this has drug on for months. The legislature could meet. They could have done it. They should have started planning a long time ago. They should have met by now. And I'm not, because their big excuse is, we don't have all the numbers yet on the budget, and we don't know what we're going to do yet. Budgeting is not all that they do. They make policy too. They could pass laws. They could if we have obstacles in the law that the Governor Burgum is addressing with his executive powers, they could literally change the law. That is their jobs. So they could have made a lot of this process. We could have had some checks and balances in place. They could have governed alongside Governor Burgum, and I think it would have been better. But they chose not to, which is frustrating to me, because if you ever talk with some of these lawmakers, the things that they love to complain about is executive branch overreach, and they love to complain about federal government overreach. But yet this emergency comes along where people got to make tough decisions, and they're fine sitting back and letting the federal government and the executive branch just do everything. Come on.
Now, can they? I don't understand how it works. if the North Dakota lawmakers wanted to go into an emergency session, can they do that on their own, or do they have to get permission from the governor?
So in North Dakota, and it varies from state to state. In North Dakota, they only have 80 days per 2-year cycle, right? They have a few. I don't know how many days. They have a couple days left. So they could have called them back.
I think it was like four or five or something like that.
Something like that.
Over.
So they could call themselves back into session for those days. Now to go
as long as there's days left.
To go beyond that, the governor has to call them.
Okay, all right. So as long, it's like you said, as long as there are days that were left over from the last session, they can go ahead and come in, but only for those days. If it's more than that, then the governor's got it.
And I think if the legislative leaders had said, "Hey, Governor Burgum, call us back into session," I think he would have. But they didn't. They chose not to. They said we didn't need to, and frankly, they were wrong. They chose not to lead at a very difficult time for our state, and that's on them.
Well, it is on them because if they had those days left, you're right. They could have called themselves in. So none of them better not hear boo from these people when it comes to how Governor Burgum handled this, because they sat back and just let the governor make the decisions, which honestly, I don't have a problem with. I think for the most part, Governor Doug Burgum has done a good job with this.
My saying that the legislature should have come back into session is not a criticism of Governor Burgum and the way he's handled that at all. What I'm saying is we have separate and equal branches of government. Let's have our government work and legislate and make policy the way it's supposed to. Once we're kind of past the more emergent part of this situation, there's no reason why the legislature could have come. And by the way, even the lawmakers, you remember the Bastiat caucus and that group of Republican lawmakers, they sent Governor Burgum that message and they wanted him to lift the executive order.
Yeah.
Even they weren't calling for a special session. Right? You know how the legislature could address if you think that the governor's executive orders are overreaching, call the legislature to session and pass a bill.
Yep. And they didn't. They didn't do anything. Hey, Rob Port, when we come back, have you seen the new guideline? Because you're a baseball fan. Have you seen the new Major League Baseball coronavirus guidelines?
Yeah.
Oh man,
they're gonna get baseball players not to spit.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't. Also, again, I don't understand. You're standing out left field by yourself.
Yes.
You can't spit. Come on.
You can't spit seeds? Come on, man. All right, 293-9000, toll free 1-888-970-9329. Our weekly chat with Rob Ford. SayAnythingBlog.com, host of Plain Talk Podcast. Also, question to you listeners, because this goes on the list too of ridiculous rules. Some of the most ridiculous rules you've experienced, you've read about, you've seen on the news when it comes to this coronavirus. My God, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. 293-9000 with Rob Port, Jay Tommy Show. Coming up. We're going to talk about the West Fargo Cruise Night later on.
You get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime.
First one's coming up June 18th.
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold.
And they should be flying over right about now, right? That big, what are they doing? The big B-52 bomber to honor first-line healthcare workers, I believe, over Sanford Health and Essentia about 2:15 this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. From the world-famous Minot Air Force Base.
Yeah, that's right. That's where it's coming from. All right. So we're asking a question for you listeners out there. Some of the most ridiculous rules when it comes to the coronavirus that you've experienced, or you just shake your head and go, come on, this whole Minnesota thing in camping is absurd. Now you got Major League Baseball, 67-page document covers everything on and off the field. Players will be asked to refrain from high-fiving, fist-bumping, and hugging, even after a player hits a home run. Players will also be prohibited from spitting, using chewing tobacco, and eating sunflower seeds while on the bench. Oh, it gets even crazier. Players, they should plan to shower at home and arrive at the ballpark already in uniform. Players will also be prohibited from touching their face to give signs or licking their fingers. A baseball will be discarded after it is touched by multiple players, and infielders will be discouraged from throwing the ball around after every out.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, wait a minute, I'm not done.
That's not going to be baseball anymore.
Teams will be allowed to have 50 players on the roster. Most players will not be permitted in the dugout. Some of the players will have to sit in the stands while remaining at least 6 feet apart from each other. Now, the league stressed that this document is a work in progress, but are you flipping kidding me, Port?
I don't.
You're a baseball enthusiast.
I don't
I'm
get
not
it.
a baseball fan.
It's hard
but
for me.
I watch. I mean, come on.
It's
man.
hard for
How are you going
me.
to get these guys to stop from hugging and spitting seeds? And
they're just not. Listen, it's hard for me.
Hang on, callers.
It's hard for me to describe how much I miss baseball. I was out with my son in the backyard yesterday, and normally on a Sunday afternoon, what would we be doing? I would have the baseball broadcast going on my phone or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't have it. I miss it dearly. But these rules are just, I mean, the pitcher throws the ball to the catcher. Like any ball that's touched by multiple players gets discarded. So after every pitch, like the pitcher's going to throw it to the catcher and the catcher's going to throw it away. Does he have to get, if the runner on first tries to steal second, does the catcher have to get a new ball before he can throw it to the second baseman? I mean,
I
don't. It doesn't make sense. And again, I get back to this. Remember, after 9/11, they were talking about security theater that TSA did, where it's just like we're doing all this weird stuff. We're going way overboard just to make, show the public, hey, we're doing things, even though these aren't really things that matter or actually work. That's what this is. This is security
theater.
theater.
We've lost our minds. We've lost our minds. Hey, Tom, you're up on the Jay Thomas Show.
Yeah, Jay, just real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt you with you and Rob Port, but the flyover has already occurred.
I missed it. Dang it. I was hoping to get out there during a break. I was hoping they would be delayed and happen at 2:30.
No, they went right over, right about 2:15, went right over the top of me. It was, I did video, but I'm not sure if it came out. But
how'd it look? Was it awesome?
Yes, very much so.
Dang
Sorry. Sorry.
Dang it. All right. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Email says, where's Jay Thomas today? Is our video not up and running, Kyle? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I'm getting email after email about the video not being up. We'll get it up for you folks right now. 293-9000, toll-free 1-888-972. Yeah, baseball. I'm like you. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I do like if I'm putzing around in the yard on a summer day or even an evening, I like putting the baseball game on the radio.
Baseball on the radio is like a soundtrack of summer, right?
It's beautiful.
Like it's just a good thing. And I bleed baseball all summer. I love it. But
you're a big Yankees guy.
But again, I do want them to be safe. I mean, I don't want any baseball players risking their lives, but
God! Come on, they have more. There's more danger from them getting hit in the head with a ball.
I think that's. What I'm just trying to say is, I don't have a problem with like reasonable precautions. I don't have a problem with that. But I think we're just going overboard, especially when you look at who this is hurting. These are professional athletes, right? They're far more healthy than the average American.
We are. Well, I'm not. I know you're not. But it's. You just look at what's going on, and you're going, how can you people be living in this fear? Oh, that's how, because it's just constantly pounded into your head by the mainstream media, by the government. That oh my God.
Well, and unfortunately, I think it's become partisan too. It's become partisan.
It has become partisan.
Where the Democratic position is, we're going to shame you if you're not wearing your mask, and everything ought to stay closed. And the Republican position is everything ought to stay open. And on the more extreme elements are, it's a hoax and everything else, which I don't believe.
I don't buy into the whole. Yeah, it's not a hoax. But
I think we have overblown this, and we need to start coming back to reality. By the way, Elon Musk, right? Is that right? Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Tesla guy. Taking the red pill, I guess, over the weekend. You see that? Where he tweeted?
No. What's he doing now?
He posted on Twitter. There's this thing in like conservatives where like if a liberal starts to move to the right in their politics, there's a joke. They say you're taking the red pill, like in the Matrix. When he offers the two pills, the blue pill and the red pill. So Elon, like he kind of, and I think it was kind of tongue in cheek. I don't think he's going to be like some new right wing Republican. But he has been fighting. Like he tweeted.
He said he's going to move out of California.
He said that he was going to. He opened his factory up. Like we're going to reopen, and if anybody turns up to arrest people, I ask that they arrest me and not my workers.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's going, and I think he's just fed up with it. And
did you hang on, Paul?
Feeling that way.
Paul and Sibley, hang on a second. I'll grab you here before bottom of the hour. Did you see? Was it a week or two ago? When he's like, you know what? I've had it. I'm taking Tesla, and I'll put to tech.
I
believe the other state was Nevada.
I was gonna write a column. Come to North Dakota. We got a big we got a big old power plant. We can hook up to your factory.
If that guy is dead serious, I hope Governor Burgum is on the phone talking to him, or his people saying, "Look, we'll take you in North Dakota,
let's
baby."
Let's make some electric cars in North Dakota. That sounds great.
I got a couple buddies that own Teslas. They love them. I said, "How are they in the wintertime with the cold here?" They're fine. No problems.
Yeah.
Paul and Sibley, Jay Thomas Show.
Hey, Jay, I got a mask story for you if you guys want to hear it.
What do you got?
So I went to Minot to get my Class A CDL driving license.
Okay.
And at the motor vehicle department, that was a real awakening. You know, they sprayed my hands down, took my temperature. Then they make us wear masks to take our driving test.
What?
Yeah, they made us wear masks. And
well,
Jay,
let's be fair. We don't
have any restrictions for wearing glasses. But I wanted to wear my glasses, and of course I couldn't wear my glasses because my glasses were fogging up. No matter what I did with this mask, glasses fogged up. Had to drive the test without my glasses.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want you to get the car sick.
We already greeted each other without masks before all this started.
I know. Well, the funny thing is, Alex and I were out and about this weekend. Went and got a bite to eat, couple drinks. Saturday afternoon, we do it all every weekend, and then we had the Camaro. So well, let's go cruising around. So we're cruising around, and of course, every place is packed. We go through downtown Fargo, and people on the streets. I mean, yeah, there's some people wearing masks, but you go by a couple places, there's just big groups of people standing there BSing, having a good old time, no masks on, or there's people with their masks on, but they got them pulled down off their face. It's like this. Again, I will not mask shame people. If you feel safe wearing one, more power to you. I'm not going to look at you.
Did you see?
Come on.
Did you see the story about
I'm not buying into this.
Did you see about the CNN White House reporter in the mask? Did you see that story, Jay?
No.
Okay, so there's a CNN White House reporter, and she's written a few of these. Like she shamed some members of the administration for not wearing masks, and she's written articles about it. So the other day, she was wearing her mask in the press briefing, and then she goes through and she's asking questions about the mask and everything, and then the White House spokeswoman walks off the stage, right? And that's normally when the cameras shut off, but this time the cameras didn't shut off. She stands up and immediately whips this mask off. It goes over and starts hobnobbing with all the other reporters. So the mask was just for show. Like she doesn't even really believe, but she's writing all these articles like President Trump should be wearing a mask, and then she's only wearing one for the camera.
Of course they are. Of course they are. They're. Like today, I put a picture of a couch with seatbelts on it. It says, "The perfect couch for those who want to stay safe after a long day of driving alone with a mask on."
By the way, if you feel like you want to wear a mask, you want to wear a mask. I mean, that's fine. Nobody should shame you. Wear the mask if you feel safe. Let's just back off a little bit, though.
Paul, did you pass your test?
Yeah, I did pass my test. I am actually Class A now.
Congratulations, buddy. Hey, you stop you stop your glasses from fogging up with those masks on?
Don't wear them.
Well, number one,
Wow.
But number two,
may not be advisable for everybody, but all right.
Not going to mask shame. Number two is you just put a piece of tape over the bridge of your nose in your mask, honestly, and that'll stop the Paul doesn't seem.
I feel like you should have a Class A+. He had an extra degree of difficulty with the mask on. He should get a Class A+.
I absolutely want it. I'm going for more endorsements, and that's one endorsement that I want.
More power to you, brother. Paul, I'm glad you're listening. Sibley, congratulations on the test, buddy. That's funny. Hey, they grade us with masks on. I got in here, got to throw a mask on. Good Lord, man. One more before we roll out of here. We got to... Mark Fargo, you get the last say here before I cut Rob loose. Go ahead, Jay Thomas Show.
I'm not sure I understood the guy's last call. He had to have his driver's test and he had to wear a mask. Well, I wouldn't want to sit in the car for 8 hours a day next to 4 people an hour, 2.5 feet away if they're not wearing a mask, and I'm going to be wearing a N95 or N95.
Well, shame on you because those are supposed to be for healthcare workers only, and you know I'm kidding you, Mark.
No, I know that, but those...
No, Mark, you didn't understand. So the guy has to wear glasses for his test, okay?
Oh, yeah, I got that.
So when he's got the mask and the glasses on, the problem is when you start breathing, all that exhaust goes up and fogs your glasses up so you can't see. So he had to take his test, his Class A, without his glasses on, which he's supposed to be wearing to take his test.
Also, he said the testers greeted him without a mask on. Like when he got there, nobody had a mask on or anything.
Well, the key is if you're 6 feet away, but if you're next to somebody for 10 hours, I mean, safety first, right?
Well, that's up to each individual. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Full go. Rob, what's on the next Plain Talk?
Well, I'm taking the week off, so I don't know. I'll figure that out next week.
That's right. You're slacking.
Yeah, that's right. I'm taking some vacation.
All right. You much deserved, brother. Have a great vacation, and we will talk. Well, Monday we're all off, so I don't know. Maybe Tuesday or the following Monday.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Have fun, brother. Go enjoy those baseball. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too soon?
Oh, you're killing me.
Thanks, Rob. 2:33 news and weather, and then something very cool on the Discovery Network tonight involves a local gentleman and his wicked 2,000 horsepower truck. We're going to talk to some people tied to him next. Jay Thomas Show.